This is Duduspreeofficial FM, Pan-African Radio. This is Duduspreeofficial FM, Pan-African.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to the first and only Pan-African media house station, Dudu Spree. So here on Things on Gas, I'm your host, Bewaji, and I'm here to discuss an exciting topic for you, which is how parents introduce their teenagers to drug abuse. So I have a set of fantastic teenagers who are here to help make us understand more about this topic. So could you introduce yourself, please?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fina. Here I'll be discussing on the same topic, but I'll be sharing a short story and talking on the solutions.
Thank you, Fina, for that. So I'm very excited to know what your story will be and how it will be like. Thank you for that.
Hi, everybody. My name is Izzy, and I'm here to talk about games that can lead to drug abuse.
Thank you, Izzy, for that. And games that leads to drug abuse, wow, that will be very, very interesting to hear too. So on today's show, the first thing we'll do is to actually know what are drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol are substances that have a significant influence on teenagers' life. These contents aim to provide an informative overview of the effects, advantages, disadvantages, and the problems they pose in the life of teenagers in society. Additionally, we will discuss more possible solutions to mitigate these challenges. So over to you, Fina, to actually discuss the effect of drugs and alcohol on teenagers.
Well, thank you, Bewaji. One of the effects are physical and mental health. There are advantages and disadvantages of this physical and mental health. Advantages are some substances like alcohol can provide temporary relaxation, release from and freedom from stress or anxiety. While this advantage is drug abuse can lead to addiction, it can also impair physical and mental health and increase the risk of accidents and injuries. Another could be academic performance. Advantage is non-substance can generally have a negative impact on academic performance. And for disadvantages, teenagers who use drugs and alcohol often experience declining grades and an educational need or setbacks. And for the top, we have social relationships. Advantages are some teenagers may use drugs or substance as a way of life on dealing with peers and feel more socially comfort. And as for disadvantage, we have substance that can strain the relationship, lead to isolation, and even contribute to criminal behavior towards the teenagers. Another, we have emotional well-being. For the emotional well-being, advantage, just like it also has advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is non-white substance might prove or provide temporary relief. They can exacerbate emotional issues in the long run. And as for disadvantages, we have substance used to link to depression. It's usually linked to depression, anxiety, and increase in risk of suicidal thoughts among teenagers. Thank you.
Wow, I never knew that it actually links to isolation. Like, could you please explain more about that theme of the drug abuse leads to isolation? How would the person isolate themselves, like, because of their taking drugs?
Well, for the fact that they take drugs, it can actually lead some problem because some friends of theirs may not know they are actually taking drugs. So when the drugs are having effects, those friends that led them to taking drugs so they can be more closer and feel like one of them, will actually isolate them and leave them because they don't want to be a friend of a drug addict.
Thank you very much, Fina, for that. I guess that our teenagers and audience listening will be happy to hear that. So I want to talk about problems associated with drugs and alcohol on teenagers. Addiction. Many teenagers who experiment with drugs and alcohol can develop a dependence that leads to lifelong struggles with addiction, risky behavior. Substance use can impair judgment that can lead to risky behavior such as unsafe sex, reckless driving, and violence. Legal consequences. Drug and alcohol-related offenses can result in legal problems, affecting a teenager's future prospects. The fourth one is health consequences. Substance abuse can have serious health consequences, serious physical and mental health repercussions, including liver disease, cognitive impairment, and overdose. Family destruction. Substance abuse can tear family apart, causing emotional distress and financial strain. So I guess with what I've said, you'll be able to understand. Over to you, Fina, for the next one. I'm sorry, excuse me, Fina, can you unmute your mic?
Okay, so solutions to address these problems. First, we have educational awareness. Providing teenagers with accurate information about the risks and consequences of substance use or just for experimentation. And secondly, we have the access to support. That means establishing accessible support systems, including counseling and treatment programs, can help teenagers facing addiction. For the third, we have strong family relationships, like open communication and support from family can deter the substance use and help teenagers in navigating challenges. And fourth, we have community engagement. Community can create positive recreational opportunities for teenagers to reduce the lure of drugs and alcohol. And for the last but not the least, we have the policy and regulation. Enforcing strict policies and regulation on the states or the sale and use of substances can limit availability to teenagers.
Thank you, Fina, for that. Because I can actually say that the family regulation stuff can actually help it as a solution to help teenagers from this. So over to you, Easy. What ways can you think about these two?
Thank you, Bewaji. And now let me just say that I'm here to talk about a game that can also lead to drug addiction or abuse. Like now, this game is called GTA. GTA is like a game, a crime game, like a vice city game, like for all people want to become criminals. Let's say as money happens, people who create GTA must have either been in one of these situations, like drug addicts, all these gangster works, or either one of them. So, and I'm going to talk about, let's say, all these games are like GTAs, and GTAs are mostly Vice City games. As GTA is just like a criminal game. So the other way that can lead to drug addiction is that when they start supposed to transfer drugs. Like GTA game, there's a mission there that wants to take a drug from this location to this other location to go and drop it. And also, or they can either see when some people are either taking drugs in the movie, they can either be taking the drugs and they'll be talking to one another. So they can either take maybe the drugs that they're taking either for fun. Or not, once they just get using the drugs, and they can never go away from it. That is true, yeah. That's only thing I can say. So thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Easy, for that. But our main topic is actually how parents can introduce their children in drug abuse. So like there's an open segment. So what do you think that can actually make parents to go send their children to go buy drugs? Like what do you think can how parents can introduce their children, teenagers in drug abuse?
It can either be true friends or true parent friends. Either sometimes they can either introduce themselves through games. I bet that either see the game that the parents is playing and then they can either go and download and start playing. Or they can either be through the parents' friend that whenever they see the parent friend taking it, they can either say that all the parent friend is taking, maybe your parents will be taking it, and it can either be good for them. That one for them to can either be taking it. So that's all what I can say.
Okay. But you know, there are some parents who actually send their children to help them go buy these from over the counter and stuff like that. You know that those things actually help to make their teenagers go in this drug abuse way. So what do you want to tell the viewers at home? How we can actually curb this?
Either be true telling them that, please, this thing is not that good for your body, because of it's good to research on things. They should research on the effect of them taking it, and they also tell their parents. Either they tell their parents every time that this is not good for your health, and the parents give them money. That and that it is such like disobeying, but but you're just doing it for their own health sake, so that they should not later start regretting about what they are taking. So that's what I can say.
Okay. Okay, so Fina, what do you actually think? Like parents that send their children to go and buy marijuana and all this jelly choco from outside in Malam shop or somewhere. What do you actually think? Should the police arrest the parents, or what do you think they can do to stop it?
Literally in Nigeria, honestly, literally in Nigeria, I've never heard when they said anyone that takes drugs is usually arrested, especially here in Nigeria or in an African country. So parents may actually send their children to buy these drugs. But and for the children, after seeing their parents taking that, seeing that nothing actually affected the parent, or they're actually okay and see the mood that their parents are, the highlighted mood, they actually feel like taking to one and they let them try it a little bit to see how to be. From there, they get addicted to it. Without even the parent finding out. Sometimes when they buy for their parent, the parent may find out that some pieces of the drugs they send them to get is actually missing. They may think that maybe it was the trader that made a mistake on it, not knowing that their children have actually been stealing some of their drugs due to the fact that they cannot control themselves while taking it anymore. So now can I get to the gaming part, to the story part? Well, yeah, I'll be telling a story of a South African woman named Zola. Actually, she actually had a long-term recovery because of a substance use disorder. What it meant to her was that she had started using for 9 years. Her parents actually usually send her to buy such drugs. But she herself, after seeing the way her mom is whenever she uses it, she decided to try it. From then, she got addicted to it. Then, from the age of 12, she started getting more deeper into trying new like marijuana. She even went as far as taking the one they call choco. And after that, she started taking cigarettes and alcohol. After our peers saw this, they reported to their parents, which led them to take the lady Zola to an agency where they deal with drug addicted teenagers and youths. So from there, she started learning. Though she actually received little of the drugs, but at least with minor effects, which actually helped her. Eventually, she got married, and when she got pregnant, she was still in the addiction of taking the drugs. She gave birth, and due to the fact that she was getting tired of the shame of taking the drugs over and over, since people were starting to call her children the daughter and the son of a drug addict, she started to try her best in. She went back to the agency because she left it once. She went back to the agency and decided to continue with her recovery. While in the recovery aspect, she was able to get to know more about the effects and dangers to the fact that she started teaching her children against it. Eventually, she stopped, and eventually, due to the fact that she had become one of the best people who have been among them, they decided to make her the CEO of the agency. There, she can actually discuss and advise other teenagers and youth like her, sharing her story and her experiences with people in order to teach them on the dangers and effects and the causes of drug abuse and alcohol. Now she can actually be a mother, a sister, a friend, without bearing the shame of being called a drug addict. Thank you.
Okay, Fina, you actually said that she started taking drug at the age of 9. So, like, is it that her parents influenced her to take drug, or she just decided to take start taking drugs?
Actually, from the first time, it was her parents who actually sent her to buy those drugs, like alcohol, only actually alcohol. But when she started seeing them, and eventually she normally had issues in school, like being among her friends and her peers. she never felt, up to their level. So she actually started taking the alcohol since some of her peers actually taking them. But those were the social creators, those ones that had more influence in the school, like the popular kids. While our other friends that actually up soon advised her not to take them, they kept advising her, but she never listened. She took the drug. She first started with the alcohol. Little by little, with those are new friends who actually kept on pressuring her, started taking the cigarettes, then from there started upgrading to other hard drugs.
Okay, but you actually said not normally in Nigeria. Your parents actually send you to like, hey, go help me buy Chelsea or stuff like that from the counter over there or from the ajokeade over there. So, like, that doesn't mean it actually influenced the child to start taking drugs. So, I don't really understand it.
Well, when you see your parent doing something, eventually you have to join. Like, I never see a family who actually takes drugs, and you find out that none of the children actually takes. Eventually, there'll be someone who is actually influenced to take it, except if the child is morally taught and, religious.
Okay. So, if you actually said you wanted to share a game that actually makes parents and drug abuse stuff, so could you actually share it with us?
Actually, I've shared it already. The part on GTA.
So this is actually an open segment. Do anybody have any question to ask?
Well, I have none.
So Isa, do you have any question to ask?
None.
There is no question. So actually, if I want to ask you a question, like if okay, I'm a 13-year-old girl, and my parents are they're not really taking that drugs, but my dad sells drugs, but he does not take drugs. That's Let me just put it like that. So he doesn't take the drug, but he sells drugs. Could that actually influence me to start taking it or not?
It can either be. Yes. Maybe is that if one that let me just say that you saw a leftover down. Can I go and take it out of the sleeping? As in Nigeria. As in Nigeria, they say finance keepers. As just the apple for Nigeria like this now. Not see if you see that some people you cannot say that. Imagine if you see that your mother is selling sweets or biscuits. Oh, can't you know just say I want to taste one? So it's all in the rim. What do you have your own lifestyle? Yeah, just like a lifestyle crucial. Animal. Yeah. And also easy on something.
Okay, so what if I'm still talking to you, Easy?
Well, how to answer on that aspect? When in coming to that aspect, actually, you don't know, it actually have a 50-50 chances of taking it. Because the child might actually see the parents selling it, and parents don't take it. And he also might decide not to take it. Or if the child actually want to feel like how the rest actually feel, you might actually take, like you see some on the, what are you looking up? Like you see some, there's sometimes now you be arranging for your parents, like a beer parlor. When you arrange, you could just find one and say to some children might actually just feel like taking it. And just like what Izzy said, when your parents said in the provision store, and you get hungry, would you feel like taking it? Taking something out of it. So eventually you pick up something. And when the child picks up, but it depends if the child actually wants to or not. Like for some teenagers now, their parents who say yes or alcohol, some of their parents also tell them that also give them the alcohol to taste and tell them that if they taste and they see the bitterness, some that actually hate bitterness, like that was my dad did for me. And when he gave me alcohol, when I tasted it, I knew how bitter it is. And me, I'm someone who doesn't like anything bitter at all. That was what made me that was what discouraged me from taking alcohol. And I don't even where people buy it actually.
So thank you, Fina. But Fina, I want to ask you a question. You know this paracetamol and everything which we buy at the chemist shop. I know street parents in the street shop, they're not like, if you're sick, you're having a headache, you just have go and take paracetamol. And you're also okay, take two because of your age. So is that actually called drug abuse, or we are just taking it normal?
Can you repeat that question again?
Okay, I actually say that this paracetamol we buy at the chemist place and everywhere. That is not as quick drugs. That in the normal Nigeria, when you are feeling you're having headache or your body is paining you, the next thing your parents tell you is to go do is go buy paracetamol to take. So actually, with that paracetamol, with your age and your body structure, that's say take two. So are they actually teaching us drug abuse, or it's just a normal thing?
Oh yeah, they are very much teaching us drug abuse. Because when you take drugs without a doctor prescription, or you try to consult your doctor first, it's actually drug abuse from the start. And what the parents actually do is, when your child is shaking a little bit, they'll say it's fever. Some may say it's malaria. They'll say go and buy malaria medicine. They will not even consult anyone, not even the pharmacist. They actually just say, they will just come to the conclusion that this is what is affecting the child. Because they don't normally, some of the parents don't actually feel like it is something that's much. Like some children now, they may be suffering from typhoid, but the parents will just look at them and say they're suffering from malaria. They will then give them malaria drugs. That's actually part of drug abuse. And when the child actually keep on going with that, the child actually gets to believe that the parents' judgment of drugs or prescription of drugs is actually more better. So when the child has a little, like parents have to take paracetamol whenever they feel a little bit headache, not even if it's caused by something else, like maybe cancer. There are some other illnesses that causes headache. That also have headaches as one of the major symptoms. So when the parents always take paracetamol, anytime parents have headache, the child may actually go with the feeling that whenever he or she gains an headache, they will also take the same drugs. Since it works for their parents, it's definitely going to work for them. That's usually their beliefs.
Okay, so thank you. But what do you think is a solution for us to actually curb this? Normally these paracetamol stuff and other quick drugs you can get without the doctor's prescription. It has been running for generation downwards. That how do you think we can curb this? Because I don't think people will just easily listen to it and stop it. So what process do you think we can actually use to stop this from going on and continue?
Usually most times is when you decide to quit it yourself. When a teenager who actually grow into an adult, continue taking drugs and already addicted to it. Eventually, when the youth or the teenager actually starts in the shameful parts, and then sometimes the effect may actually start showing, like the effects of and the consequences of taking those drugs. The person actually start getting, may start falling ill, or for some who actually get married, when they see what their children is actually going through, being called and named just like Zola, the way our daughter and our children, when our children were being called named, daughter was sons to a drug addict, when it can actually lead them into feeling the embarrassment they're causing their children, and they may actually decide to seek for help. Some actually go to rehabilitation centers. They are mostly rehabilitation centers that help, and some agencies that helps drug addicts. While some, their parents may actually see that when they fall in, it doesn't actually see that the only way they can stop and the only way they can feel better is when they stop taking drugs. And if that they are already addicted to it, eventually they have to rehabilitate them. So because if they try to stop them from taking the drugs, it may lead to more damages like mental disorder. For someone that's already used taking cocaine, marijuana, I just said the person stop all of a sudden. And someone that's already addicted, it may be possible that the person may not take it for a whole day and the person might die, or the person may actually have mental disorder. Those are majorly the causes. So you have to be taking it slowly with them. When they go to the rehabilitation center, they will still give them those drugs, yes, but little. But the one they'll be giving them will have minimum of the effects and the way they feel. So that will actually help them to eventually, when they don't feel like taking it anymore, when they don't see the effects or the consequences of it anymore. So they eventually drop it because they think doesn't do anything to their body. It doesn't make them react the way they usually react.
I feel like it's saying round up. Okay, I done. Okay. So
Okay.
wow, thank you. Okay, thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for that wonderful insight on which you shared. I hope that the viewers at home will actually be able to learn a few points like the way I learned. Well, so the conclusion way alcohol actually